Hello everyone and welcome back to More Knowing Wheel. Yes, we return today, episode 202, to preview the Brazilian Grand Prix. Just 4 rounds to go of the 2024 campaign. Anything can happen between now and the end of the year. That's right, I'm back believing that maybe Max Verstappen isn't going to wrap it up with a couple of races to go. One man that is hoping Max Verstappen can wrap it up pretty soon is Jamie183. How are we doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm back on the worry train after getting off it after Kota. I'm not ultimately confident. I do think Max will win it, but that could be some hopium creeping in. But 4 races, 2 sprints, and 47 points. Is it?
It is 47 points, correct?
Yes. So that's more than 10 points per race weekend, which is going to be quite a tall order.
With 2 sprints in that time.
Yeah. But Max has won every sprint this year so far, so you know.
He has still, hasn't he? That is fairly mad.
In the 4th fastest car.
Okay. To be fair, every sprint weekend they have had the fastest car, haven't they? Apart from Kota.
Not Kota, and I would say not Austria. But,
hey, he took pole by half a second on the shortest track on the calendar.
Yeah, but that's because Max is good.
Yeah, but so's Lando at Austria.
Yeah, that's why Lando should have won the race if he didn't drive into Max.
Right, okay, we'll go back there, are we?
Let's move on from that as quickly as we can.
You'd never guess it's been a fairly slow news week in the grand scheme of things, would you? With the fact Jamie and I rambling less than 2 minutes in.
Yes.
But I mean, we have got a few things to talk about. Obviously, it is yet another sprint weekend late on in the campaign, Jamie. Luckily, this one, all the timings are fairly sensible for us Europeans. And, you know, a Brazilian sprint is always quite a special one, isn't it?
It is. It was the sprint that made everyone think sprints were all right back in 2021, wasn't it?
Yep. It's why it's the only track that's been a sprint every year.
It is. What was the third sprint night? Because it was Silverstone, Brazil.
Monza. It
Sprint,
shows you how good Monza was that nobody remembers it ever had a sprint race.
Yeah, true.
Because Bottas won that one as well, I think.
Bottas did win that with Max second, and Lewis had a terrible start. And Ricciardo came third, didn't he? And then won the GP. Yes. Brazil 2021, Hamilton just cheated with a broken engine. But it was a good race, to be fair. And yeah, I'm kind of hoping we get some of those kind of title fight shenanigans going on again where Max goes and plays with Lando's rear wing and shows that it's flexible or something like that. So yeah, the sprint race is always fun. And it might be made more interesting. Maybe I'm wrong here, but can Max not take his grid pen in a sprint?
He cannot. You have to take it into the Grand Prix.
So why did Liam Lawson have a grid pen for the sprint 2 races
He didn't.
ago? He didn't. Okay, maybe. Well, I'm wrong.
He started last in the race.
Yes, he did.
You cannot serve grid penalties in sprints. You obviously you can take the penalties prior to the sprint and obviously use that gearbox and everything in the sprint.
Yeah,
but you
the
cannot.
penalty applies to the GP.
Yeah, the penalty always goes to the GP. Otherwise, everyone would just do them for sprints, wouldn't they?
Yeah, because less points on offer, so less to lose.
Bingo.
Yes. Well, that takes on to Max is going to take a grid penalty at some point between now and the end of the season, and it definitely won't be at Abu Dhabi, and I would hazard a guess it won't be at Vegas. So it'll either be here or Qatar, and to be honest, it looks like it's going to be in Brazil.
Well, yeah, Helmut Marko, I think, literally yesterday has confirmed that he will be taking a grid penalty, or all but confirmed that he will be taking a grid penalty here. It's a 5-place penalty for a gearbox, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought it was an ICE. Maybe I'm wrong.
Perhaps we've read different articles then.
Well,
I was adamant it was a grid box. Sorry, a gearbox even. But, I mean, Jamie, the first thing there to talk about, of course, is obviously you say about Hamilton's illegal engine in 2021. Surely now we're going to find out whether it was or obviously whether it's just skill. If Verstappen can't come from wherever he starts to take the win, then Lewis is just better.
Well, they haven't been putting a Juju engine in Perez's car all year, giving him 10,000 penalties, have they?
I genuinely love to know what the power advantage was from that. Like, just out of pure engineering interest, I would be so... Like, whether it is genuinely, 20 horsepower, or whether they found, 60 or 70 or something wild. Because imagine that in the 2020 Mercedes, how fast that thing would have been.
Well, yeah. The fact that he was just able to rinse past the entire field.
Everything.
in a ground effect, not ground effect, in the other one, a non-ground effect era where the dirty air was crazy. And I mean, the sprint race did help, because if he starts last in the GP, Max almost certainly wins that race.
I mean, he made up places pretty quickly. He started 15th.
He started 10th, not 15th.
No, he got to 10th in the sprint, and then had another 5 grid drop. He started 15th.
He got to 5th in the sprint.
Did he?
Yes, and then he...
I remember it. I thought he started 15th in the race. 15th to win.
No, it wasn't 5th, it was 10th.
Fair enough. Still impressive.
You call yourself a fan? What is this?
I do call myself a
fan. Yes,
I can't wait.
Max's engine will not be illegal, I like to think. I mean,
neither was Lewis's. It was OP and it probably would have blown up 3 laps after the end of Abu Dhabi, but it was not illegal. That's the important bit.
Yes, he did go 20th to 5th in the sprint and then started 10th on the grid.
Fair enough. I only saw, literally, I think it was a couple of days ago, the clip of George Russell at the start of the sprint in Brazil that year. And I mean, we've gone down a rabbit hole immediately.
Didn't he just take someone out immediately?
No, he didn't take anyone out. He literally just moves over and breaks 100 metres early for turn 1 for Lewis.
To let Hamilton
and obviously people are obviously just going, oh, well, he's not on the same team. We should be supporting him. George has literally already signed to Merc next year. You better believe he's helping Lewis out at any possible cost.
Exactly, that worked out. But we should get out of this rabbit hole and talk about this week's sprint race, because it's the 5th one of the season. Yeah. As we said, Max has won all of them so far, which is good going.
Yeah. 40 extra points. How many points has Lando scored in sprints this year?
8 points for a sprint.
Sorry, 32, isn't it? I'm doing 5, yeah. 32 extra points. How many points has Lando scored in sprints this year, Jamie? Has sprint racing killed the championship fight this year? That's what I'm wondering.
You know what? I mean, it's a simplification of the model, because the sprint races have a direct impact on the GP, I would say.
Yes, but if you remove them entirely.
So Lando has had... What was the fourth? So he got a 6th in China, which is 3 points.
3 points, yeah.
He got a 3rd in Austria, which is 6 points.
Yeah, that's so 9.
Where was the next one?
Miami, you forgot, and...
Miami was out.
Okay, and
USA,
Kota.
he got 6. So Lando has only got 15 points.
So that would slash the gap by 17 points, which would be 30.
On. That's almost a race win.
Well, and then how many points has Leclerc scored? Let's see if this gets even closer.
He's really testing me now. All right.
So Max would be on 330. Lando would be on 300. Charles Leclerc would be on...
He would be on... Where is this season? Okay, he got a 4th, so that's... 5 points, plus 7
down to
points.
286, so 279.
Plus 2 points.
277.
Plus 5 points.
272. So, I mean, actually, Charles would end up pretty much the same gap back as he is already. He'd be slightly closer to Max, but further away from Lando.
Yeah.
Well, there we go then. We can confirm sprint races have ruined F1 2024.
And what fastest laps ruined him as well.
Maybe? How many hypotheticals are we going to do to try and work out a way this title fight would be more interesting?
Exactly. DHLs, actually, they've got basically the same. Norris has got more, I think. So, Max has only got 2. Norris has got about 5.
Really? In the most dominant car all year, on average qualifying pace still?
I'm not rising to that one.
It is genuinely... No, so far this year, it is genuinely still the fastest car on qualifying aggregate.
Well, is it the fastest car or is it the fastest driver?
No, it's the fastest car.
Because if you take Verstappen out of the picture, it's probably the 5th fastest car.
No, if you take Verstappen out of the picture, Red Bull learn how to set it up properly for any other driver. I mean, you're talking about Sergio Perez here, Jamie, a man that you've never rated.
I've never rated.
Imagine how far off Hulkenberg would be if he was in Red Bull. He'd be miles off the pace.
There was a point where Perez was good, though. Like 2020 and 2021. Like, where has that Perez gone?
And
that takes us on nicely to our next piece
of
news.
It does. Talk us through, Jamie.
The rumour mill is kicking out, as usual at this point, that Sergio Perez is about to do his last race in Formula 1 for now, probably forever, because Red Bull have basically just run out of patience, because Mexico was shambolic.
Yeah.
And I mean, Kota wasn't much better. And yeah, he had that one Renaissance race in Baku, and even that ended up in the barriers.
Which ended up with less points than anyone else.
So the talk is that they're very impressed by Liam Lawson. And Lawson could be driving the Red Bull by Qatar, which, when they put Albon in the Red Bull after 10 races, that wasn't too early, was it? And then just put Lawson in after 2.
To be fair, he did 6 last year. He did race at Qatar last year.
Yeah, for one corner.
Was that no? That was in the sprint, wasn't it?
I thought that was the GP, maybe.
Because it was Lewis that crashed out at the start of the GP.
I don't think they put the safety car out straight away, and then Lawson still managed to bin it as well.
Fair enough. You might be right. Apparently, I don't remember anything anymore. It's a good skill for a podcast.
He finished 17th actually.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
Yeah, it must have been a sprint where he was out in 2 corners. I think it was Ocon's fault, if I remember rightly.
It was Ocon and Perez and him, but I didn't even think that was lap 1. I thought that was like halfway through the sprint.
No, that was Hulkenberg that Ocon and Perez took out.
Okay.
I remember that very well because Hulk was about to get his 3rd points of the season.
Oh man.
Yeah, but we're not here to talk about Qatar, although we are if Perez is going for Qatar. Yeah, what do you think, Liam Lawson to Red Bull for the next race?
Honestly, I think you're kind of at the point now with the Red Bull of just keep Checo in the car to the end of the year. Give yourselves a little bit of stability. Maybe if you get to Abu Dhabi and say Verstappen's already got the title wrapped up, or, you got a couple of things secured, then you just give him Lawson the run for the weekend. But you're kind of there going, it staggers me with a team like Red Bull. First of all, that you think after how many drivers have struggled in that car alongside Verstappen, that you haven't really seemingly changed much still. And I know obviously that a lot of the drivers there go, Max, and I'm not going to try and sit here and argue against it that Max isn't obviously incredibly talented and quick anyway. Obviously, as soon as he goes wheel to wheel with anyone, he's got the skills of a teapot.
Well, some would argue it's on purpose. It's quite skilled to.
I would argue it's stupid.
It is stupid, but it's deliberate.
But you're kind of there going, you've got to change something with the way this organisation works. Let's be fair. If they put Lawson in for the final 3 races and he absolutely drowns, are they going to leave him in the car next year? It might give you more problems going into the winter, and then you don't really know what to do for next year because you already know Lawson can't do it. Checo's gone. Do you put Tsunoda in and end up in the same scenario at the start of next year? Something fundamentally has to change with that team if you want to win constructors' titles.
Yeah.
But it's just not going to happen.
They haven't won a constructors' title since last year.
I
was going to say 2013.
I was going to say since the very last one.
But yeah, I mean, Max would have won 2023 on his own. Would he have won 22 on his own as well?
No, nowhere near.
Not quite. But yeah, I think when the field is close, Perez, he is the reason that they're 3rd in the championship. Verstappen has a 47-point lead on Norris, so all Perez has to be doing is not to be losing to Piastri by 47 points. And he's nowhere near. Yeah.
I was going to say, how many points per game is he? Sorry? Oh, 90.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's...
Sorry, 101 even.
That's mental. So yeah, it is totally down to Perez why Red Bull are 3rd in the constructors. And they're quite lucky Mercedes fell off, although I said be 4th. So, yes, I think it's time to go, to quote Arsenal Fan TV. But I genuinely don't know if Lawson will do any better. I like Lawson, I do. And I think he's got a bit about him. But sticking him into that Red Bull with 3 races to go in a championship fight for his teammate just seems a bit unfair. And I'm sure he'll take it with both hands. But I just don't know how well he'll do.
Could you theoretically, and I'm sure obviously sponsors and things like that would hate this, and it just wouldn't work logistically, but could you theoretically put him in that car for FP1 at Vegas, swap them over literally for Vegas free practice 1, and then obviously swap them back if you're not happy?
I wouldn't do it at Vegas because practice sessions there are a joke, but I would do it at Qatar. That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, but you only get 1 practice session in Qatar was my point.
Oh yeah,
that was what I was thinking. Vegas is the only sensible one you can do apart from Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, you're not going to do it at Abu Dhabi, are you?
No.
Yeah, I had a thought which I got laughed at for.
It's always a dangerous thought. Oh yeah, here we go. This is Jamie's grand idea for the week.
That there is a driver on the grid who has been known to literally give up his own race for his pretty average but better teammate.
I like the way you're describing him as average. That's good.
Well,
it's a good start.
if Magnussen, I'm talking about Kevin Magnussen, if Magnussen will destroy his credibility for Hulkenberg, who obviously massive Hulkenberg fan, but he's not a world champion. He's not a podium sitter in his career so far.
I was going to say.
The fact that Magnussen will just throw everything at the competitors to get Hulkenberg 1 point in Saudi Arabia and Miami, like, he clearly his quality pace is not all that, but in the race he is robust.
Hang on a minute, he's had a pole here in Brazil. Haas is still the only team where both drivers have taken pole at Brazil. I love it. Yes, they're the only team on the grid that have a fully Brazilian pole sitter lineup.
That's mad. Yeah, fair play. Obviously, whenever F1 tweets that Hulkenberg got pole position, it will be getting retweeted by myself, as it does every year.
Of course it will. Yeah. Follow Jamie on Twitter at Jamie_183.
There's your annual tweet. I think Red Bull could do worse than signing Kevin Magnussen for the last 3 races, because he can't be that expensive to get out of Haas, because he's off anyway. Stick bare minimum.
Well, I was going to say, you say obviously about Magnussen's kind of loyalty to Haas. That seemingly has stopped. Now he knows he's not there next year. He's kind of gone, no, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So would he therefore do the same thing at Red Bull?
Well, I think they'd be like, look, here's £1 million for your last 3 races.
Here's £1 million.
Do what we say. Take out everyone apart from Verstappen. There you go.
Fair enough. And you think Red Bull can just throw £1 million quid?
If he had the pace to hang with the top 6, it would be a great strategy, I think.
He would absolutely crash.
Well, if he takes Norris with him, perfect.
You're not honestly trying to suggest that Red Bull try and fix this season,
No, but make it look like an accident.
Oh, right. Jamie, have you ever seen Spingate in NASCAR? Because this is basically what you're trying to describe.
I'm not saying Magnussen would take them out, but driving like he did in Saudi Arabia or in Miami Sprint would be perfect.
All I'm going to say, Jamie, is I appreciate, because all this is saying to me right now is you're getting very nervous that Max isn't going to win this title, and I like that.
Checo Perez is useless. I don't see Lawson being that much. I don't see Lawson taking points off Norris, is what I'm trying to say.
Do you see anyone taking points off Norris, though? Unless they hire Charles Leclerc for the last 3 races or something dumb.
If they clone Verstappen, then yeah. But... to be honest, no.
The reach this episode is incredible. I'm loving this. You completely lost your mind.
I mean, another driver that they probably should have signed is Carlos Sainz, by the way.
They should have done that a long time ago, but there we are.
He's not, unless he's got escape clauses in his Williams contract, he's definitely going to
Which
Williams.
He does. Yeah.
He does, but not for 24. Of 25.
Oh, yeah, not for next year, sorry.
So, yeah, I don't know what Red Bull should do, but I'm not sure Liam Lawson's the answer.
Fair enough.
That does take us on to the quiz.
Does it? Okay.
Yes, because your quiz concerns Red Bull Racing. But not as you might expect, because it concerns Red Bull Racing in their previous guise.
Oh.
Which is?
Jaguar.
Exactly. Jaguar were a Formula 1 team back in the early 2000s.
They were terrible.
They were pretty awful. In their time, they had 8 Formula 1 drivers. You have to name all of them. Go.
How much time have I got?
You got a minute.
Oh no, restart then. Restart the clock. Restart. Right. You've got to tell me these things before we start.
Your time starts now.
Eddie Irvine, Johnny
Correct.
Herbert, Mark Webber, Giorgio Pantano.
Not Pantano.
No, not Pantano. Yeah. Pitsonia.
Yes.
Sorry. They had Christian Klein.
Yes.
They had
3 more.
Didn't have Barrichello at any point. No, you'd already gone to Ferrari.
He was at Stewart before this.
Before that. Heidfeld?
No.
No. Oh no, not truly.
You got 25 seconds. I think you'll have heard of all of them. You definitely got.
Yeah,
of them.
I'm forgetting one that came in. Oh, Justin Wilson.
Yes.
Yep.
15 seconds.
Oh, I'm trying to
10
remember.
seconds.
I know it's 2 that only did 1 season each, isn't it?
And your time is up. They definitely did. You got almost all of them. 6 out of 8's not bad.
Am I right in saying that Jaguar never had the same driver lineup 2 years in a row? Like, they always changed at least one driver every single
looks like
year.
it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, because they had... Was it Pitsonia that they had for, like, one race in 2003, and then he was full-time in 2004?
No.
Or is that someone else?
You're thinking there's a driver who did one race in 2000 and then started 2001 and lost his seat after 4 races.
Is it Deniz?
Similar, but no.
Oh, not Rosset or anything like that, is it?
No.
No.
Luciano Berti.
Yes, of course.
And then the guy who replaced Berti in 2001 and then kept the seat for the rest of the season and to 02.
Who was that alongside Irvine?
Yeah, next to Irvine.
Yeah, I know it was next to Irvine. Who was it, though?
He's a very well-known test driver.
Oh, was it Wirtz?
No.
No? De La Rosa? De La Rosa.
Yeah, it was De La Rosa.
Of course it was De La Rosa. I don't forget De La Rosa. You know what's worse about that, Jamie?
Yes.
Was as soon as you said about Jaguar, I literally watched Mobile Chicane's video on them yesterday.
Great.
Their entire history in Formula 1.
Wow. And you still only got 6 out of 8.
I still only got 6 out of 8. Oh, that was not my finest. I don't know why I suddenly forgot De La Rosa. For some reason I had in my head that he was already at McLaren by then. As a reserve. I'll take that, though. 3/4 I'll take still. It's a very odd quiz.
It is an odd quiz, but we're scraping the barrel this part of the season.
Hang on a minute, you could have done Brazilian drivers or something like that. Actually, there's so many terrible ones in the 90s and 2000s.
I mean, you forgot Luciano Berti when there were only 8
Exactly, which was both quizzes in the mud immediately.
Yes. Shall we talk more about Lewis Hamilton? Because
he's driving Senna's car. That's cool.
I swear that Senna car is getting beaten like a dead horse this season.
What, the MP5?
Because I was at Imola when Seb drove it.
That was the MP8, wasn't it?
Oh, it was red and white and 1991.
That was every Senna McLaren livery ever.
I thought it was...
Pretty certain. I thought Senna drove the 1993 car.
Senna didn't drive
sorry, not Senna. Well, he did, but not recently. Seb, I swear, was an MP8B, I thought. MP4-8B, even. I thought he had the 1993 car.
Yes, you're right. Yeah,
so that is the 1993. Yeah. Lewis is driving the 1989 car, which was the take out of Prost at turn 1 at Suzuka. Because I don't...
No, it was. It was.
It? Yeah, I was going to say. Because
I swear 90 was that. 89 was when they crashed into each other.
I thought 88 was when they crashed. No, 88, sorry, was when he won it in the MP4 4. Mm-hmm. 89, sorry, yeah, was the MP5. And then 1990, yeah, sorry, for the MP6. I think those old cars are so cool. Like, for me, they are ultimate
They all blend
icons.
into one for me.
They don't, though, do they? They're all special for different reasons.
But if you tell me, like, if you put in front of me a 93 McLaren and a 91 McLaren, I would not be able to tell with you which is which.
Oh no, they look completely different. The 1993 car's so narrow in comparison. This is when they'd already had to go down to V8s.
I don't know. My interest in Formula 1 history.
Perhaps you're just not a good McLaren. Yeah, you just have no understanding of proper peak F1 machinery and the almost perfect season.
True, but
it is a fun quiz for you, Jamie. Quickly.
Okay.
It's not a serious one. Speaking of all-conquering, can you name me the only engine manufacturer that has had a perfect F1 season of wins?
Was it not Ford?
It was Ford. Twice.
I remember, yeah, because there was a season where they fouled everyone but Ferrari.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wild, isn't it?
Crazy.
And I believe, that's obviously the MP4-8 that obviously Seb drove as a Ford engine. The MP4-5 doesn't. Yes. I genuinely love to know what Senna's views of F1 would be today. It's a very oddly, no, I wouldn't quite call it philosophical, but odd path to go down. I would genuinely love to know what he thinks of Formula 1 nowadays.
I think he'd still respect it quite a lot. I
think he'd love to have a go in one of the
and the thing
one of the high downforce cars of the last gen.
The Sauber is definitely faster than these McLarens in the 90s, isn't it? Like,
sorry?
How fast were the cars in the 90s?
They're probably about 10 seconds a lap faster.
Yeah. So what you're saying is Joe Guan Yu's better than Senna?
No, I'm not. In what world is that what you read from that
He
scenario?
can drive faster around Brazil.
Hey? You are... genuinely, what's happened to you since we recorded on Monday? You've lost your mind.
Yeah,
Some of the things you've come out with today.
Verstappen's going to lose the title, and I'm fuming.
I look forward to it. Right, we've rambled a lot today, Jamie. Should we get on with our predictions? We've got, that's the last thing on our list.
Yes.
You said on Monday you might consider letting me go first. Is that going to be the case? There's 10 points up for grabs today, remember? What are the scores on the doors?
No, I'm going to go first.
Okay.
The scores are... You're on 71, I'm on 66. So yes. I need to close in some ground.
You do. You need to take a point and a quarter out of me each week between now and the end of the year.
That's not impossible.
Draw this. No, it's not, to be fair.
I will say...
So it's sprint, win, pole, and top 3, isn't it, we do? So 10 points available.
What is the weather saying in Interlagos, I wonder?
It's apparently the circuit's been resurfaced, so there's no grip if it rains.
There's a smattering of rain around on Sunday. That might be fun.
Prime Verstappen bottle times.
We'll go and see that. It's Verstappen.
Definitely not Leclerc.
Do you remember 2016 when Verstappen?
I hate that narrative because Verstappen, because he kept making mistakes, was always on fresh tyres against everybody else.
That drive, you have to respect that drive an awful lot.
I think it's overrated.
Wow.
Hang on a minute, you just tried to claim Zhou Guan Yu's quicker than Senna.
That was obviously bait. This is not bait at all. Verstappen in 2016, Brazil, was his breakout drive more than Spain. In my mind.
I just love the way he kept mugging off Rosberg that year but couldn't get close to Lewis.
Well, who won the championship?
The wrong man.
I will say pole position will go to...
Sprint pole, sorry, yeah.
Sprint win first. Okay.
Sprint win, sorry, yeah.
Sprint win will be Lando Norris. I'm going for points over what I actually want. Pole position will be Charles Leclerc.
Okay.
Grand Prix win. I might go Leclerc again, you know. Is it going to be a back-to-back 3 in a row for Ferrari? Let's go Leclerc race win.
When was the last time Ferrari won 3 races back-to-back?
Oof.
2018? 2017?
Probably earlier, I would imagine.
Well, earlier, you're then talking, what, 2004? Or 08, yeah.
I reckon it was probably 08, to be honest, because 17 and 18, it was only Seb winning, and he never won 3 in a row.
Did he not?
No, he got 2 in a row quite a few times, but he never won. I don't think he ever won 3 back-to-back. And then,
fair enough.
Obviously, Alonso and Massa never shared wins out. Alonso never got more than 2 in a row.
Did Alonso ever win 2 in a row?
Yeah, he did. He won Italy, Singapore in 2010. But
I love just your random, just pluck out of.
So you're probably talking 08. I think they won 3 of the first 4 races in 08, probably. Massa, Bahrain, with Raikkonen, Australia, and no, he didn't win Australia, did he? But he won Malaysia and something else.
Spain would have been round 4.
Probably. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going for it again. Leclerc to win the race. Norris to come second.
For the first time in 16 years, Ferrari are going to win 3 in a row.
Norris to come second with Piastri third.
Oh, where's Max coming?
Well, he got a grid penalty, doesn't he? And he's in the 4th fastest car, so he'll probably come 4th or 5th.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's it.
Interesting. So I'm going to say... sprint pole tonight.
It's not sprint pole. Who cares about that?
Sorry, sprint win even tomorrow. Oh, sprint win, yeah. Who do you say, Lando?
I said Norris to win the sprint.
I'll say Leclerc then. I'll say Lando for the win. Charles in P2.
Wait, he's getting pole. You've forgotten pole position.
Oh, sorry, pole position. I'm going to say Lando. So I'm just saying the opposite of you
Leclerc
so far.
P2.
So Leclerc sprint win. Lando pole. Lando win. Leclerc P2. I want to say Lewis, but it's obviously not going to happen. Although, to be fair, they are doing special Senna hats this weekend, so we'll try harder.
So he'll be powered by the Brazilian fans as an honorary Brazilian.
Exactly. You know what? Yeah, let's go for it. I got points to spare. Lewis Hamilton P3 in the Grand Prix.
I suppose you said that in Silverstone. They went and won the thing. So
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. No Sergio Perez on the podium.
Oh, sadly not. I don't think this weekend. I'm afraid. When are Discord going to get rid of these annoying noises as well?
The annoying people on the other end of my call.
No. I actually meant like the Halloween themed stuff. It's annoying me to no ends.
I have no idea. Probably, well, it's the 1st of November now, isn't it? So, that dates this video.
Get it gone. Jamie, have we got anything else to add? This has been arguably our worst ever show.
Lawson apologised for flagging Perez on the main straight in Mexico.
Yeah, I don't think he should have apologised. He deserved it.
And he also said he's not here to make friends, which is always a good start, isn't it?
Exactly. He's the new Juan Pablo Montoya.
Yeah. I do rate him. I think he's good. But, as I said, I don't know if he'll tear up Red Bull.
No.
Is that about right?
Thank you all, as always, so much for listening. If you have enjoyed, I don't know how on this week's show, but please make sure you get yourself subscribed. We want to try and hit 1K by the end of the year. Jamie and I mean, we've got a couple of weeks off after this, haven't we, Jamie? But we will be back early next week to review the Brazilian Grand Prix. Kevin Magnussen takes the victory. Absolute scenes.